Alan, welcome to Fish Eagle Residence. Great to have you here all the way from Cape Town.
Thanks.
And congratulations again on your appointment as Guest Experience Manager for the collection.
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity to take on the guest experience for More Family Collection. It gives us an opportunity to really look at the magic we create, how we can elevate it and solidify
100%.
that.
So taking that uniqueness of Ivory Lodge and the unique opportunity of which Ivory Lodge has given us in her rebuild of the main area. Tell me a little bit about what are we wanting to create in the guest experience at Ivory Lodge?
Our strategy is definitely to give a sense of purpose. This allows us to apply thought and attention to every aspect of the guest experience. We can look at our systems. Consistency plays a huge role in this. And then we can look at what I'd like to create is looking at the golden thread along the collection. What do we want to have as our main base standard at More Family Collection? So you could walk in, understand what we're about, but then also retain that unique energy of each property. As we look at the rebuild, we're thinking about every single building and how that translates into the guest experience.
Okay.
For our guests, we'd like to give them a sense of place and really ground them in this beautiful location and let them sense that.
I never quite realized how incredible the site is. I mean, it's right on the banks of the river. It's got big open vistas. It's slightly elevated. The river actually does a 90-degree bend in front of the main area. And right from sitting in that open site, as we did as a team, there was something there that we felt was super unique about the Ivory Lodge location, which we wanted to intentionally connect our guest with. And I feel that's been very much at the center of creating this guest experience.
So you spoke to the architecture, and I think that the balance of that lies in the design, and then bridging the design, the architecture with the people that we have in place as well. So we're aiming for a very relative, high attention to detail style of service.
Okay.
And it's about how the team members interact with each other. So it's about the butler being the anchor of your experience, the housekeeper in the room anticipating the need, ensuring that the botanicals in place, the beautiful welcome notes in place, the guide leading you on a safari and with comfort and ease, and ensuring that the experience is exactly what you anticipated it to be.
And I think, as we know, each and every guest is different and unique. And not even do we look at a couple as the same guest. We look at the individuals that make up the couple. And I know that you have been the leading force behind creating different moments during the guest stay to enhance that connection to the landscape. And so let's start at the front door, because it's the best place logically for me to work through the guest experience.
This has presented an opportunity for us to really reimagine the space. On arrival, the vehicle will arrive and a team member will meet you, and you'll be walked down towards this beautiful stone fountain. You'll have water pouring continuously throughout the day, and you'll be invited to partake in a ritual, which is a hand washing experience. We'd like the guest to take a moment to stop, pause, and just have a moment to partake in this ritual before entering the guest experience that lies before them.
So to become more present, I guess, to forget about the journey, to freshen up, to become present before entering the space of Ivory Lodge.
Correct. There will be crafted salts infused with various herbs created by our in-house team, and the guests will help themselves to the salt, wash their hands, and team member on our side will step in with drying the hands and then take you forward into the rest of the guest experience.
So the Artist Residency, we've had an artist in residence for must be close to 5 years.
So it's a program that we do in collaboration with SAFCA, the South African Foundation for Contemporary Art.
So it's contemporary African art.
Correct. Beautiful. And that's the style of art and artists that we are looking for. So our focus is predominantly on upcoming emerging artists.
Okay.
And they've got an understanding of the setting, a respect for the reserve, and they draw on the elements around them, and an openness to share their story.
Yeah.
And I feel that there's an alignment with the guest as well. They're in a similar mindset, and that collaboration or that engagement is such a humbling experience, even in the location of the space. So we've placed it in a strategic location so that guests can pass through from the rooms on the way to the bar or between reception. It's like a natural discovery where you just see the artist in residency creating their art, and you are welcomed to go up to them and have a conversation.
There's not a person I know, or I guess there's not a person I like who doesn't like flowers or plants. So, but the origin of our intentional strategy around bringing the botanicals, which we've called it because it's a variety of plants, into our guest experience, actually stems back 15, 20 years. My mum used to have an orchid house, and she was an orchid grower. She had a few thousand plants, and I remember one day saying to her, because of our remote location, I always used to say, when you visit these beautiful hotels around the world, they've always got flowers in the lobby entrance area, and I think it always gives you a sense of home, a sense of arrival. It's pretty. It's a very nice natural element to bring in. But because of our remote location, it was difficult to bring in fresh flowers to the lodges. So that's where we sort of connected the dots between my mum's orchid growing into expanding it to the capacity of the current botanicals, where I think we've got 6,000-7,000 plants of a variety of different colors and shades and flowering at different times in the year. So we are now able to bring plants not only into the guest main areas, but into the suites, into all different touch points within the lodge, as well as the hotel. We're actually taking them down to Cape Town as well. So it's definitely become a golden thread in the collection of the more botanicals influencing the guest experience.
It absolutely has, and that's only expanding. As we've created that beautiful botanical conservatory in Cape Town, that guest experience has worked exceptionally well. We're finding guests drawn into that space, so it's got that ability to do that, to draw people into spaces, and that's what we'd like to do at Ivory Lodge. Yes, I think the idea is definitely to shift away from it being a reception,
transaction space,
check in, check out, a very transactional process, and we wanted to create an experience, a space that sparks curiosity, where the guests can go beyond the engagement with reception, but also look at a beautiful botanical conservatory where we've got the whole reception area layered in botanicals.
With orchids and bromelias.
Correct.
Okay. Normally the interaction in the lounge is after the evening game drive. And I always, in the planning of the guest experience, is we wanted to make sure that not just one or two couples get the best spot. We wanted to create these uniquely personal, amazing spaces in that area, because we all have different emotions at different times, and sometimes arriving guests are different to guests that are deeper into their stay. But there's flexibility around that main area where you can decide to engage or not engage.
So we have some key roles in the bar lounge area to really capture that experience. From the mixologist or the bartender, we've got the barista to make your coffee in the morning. We've got the sommelier to guide you through a wine selection.
Yes, tell me about the wine, what are we calling it? Wine room? The wine room, the wine room behind the bar.
So it's a wine room. The way we've created the wine room is to allow guests to interact in that space at their own pace.
Okay.
They're able to step into the wine room, grab a glass of wine from the bar, step into the space, look what we have available. And it ties into that essence of that homely feel or luxury.
Yes.
You're able to step into your own wine room, take a look, and enjoy your wine
and
that you've
be
selected.
familiar.
So definitely in that thread of a sense of place and that sense of feeling at home. Very similar to the wine experience. We wanted to create an opportunity where you could step into the kitchen, see what the chef is up to. There's a pickling room. What's being pickled, the guests can taste it, they can get involved. There's might be a cheese, it might be cured meat, but it's an opportunity for the guests to step into our operational world, see what we do, feel a part of the team, and get to taste things that are being produced for the meal the same day.
Alan, the one thing I do love about the Ivory Lodge experience is how you've created this team of people who are allocated and dedicated to each couple that are staying in the lodge. And tell me how that team is briefed as the sort of service team around that couple that is staying with us.
So the team will have a good understanding of the guests coming in advance.
Pre-arrival, okay, got it. Yeah.
So we try to gather as much information as possible. But that's the base level information, but in the experience you can sense a lot of other requirements that the guests may have, or a special request. Maybe they haven't thought about the treehouse experience, so we would mention it, and it would just be a cool option for the guests to partake in. But the key element is the communication, the silent communication that happens between these different team members. Maybe the field guide hears something on the drive and he tells the chef, and the chef has it ready when they come in for dinner. So it's about that type of anticipation of and understanding of guest need.
The listening, to listen to what the guest may desire, and then planning that without them asking for it and delivering it to them is definitely at the heart of what we're trying to create at Ivory Lodge.
So that dedicated team that we spoke to, the same team is applicable to the residents, but it's all in this dedicated one space. So it's a really elevated anticipation of needs, understanding what your requirements are and how to tailor that experience specifically around you and your guests.
I suppose the other benefit of residents thinking about it is that it is just the guest and the service staff that are there. There's no interaction from any other guests or any other people within the operation. So they are going to form this unique personal connection.
Another key inclusion is that residents' concierge role. So Palesa, who sees to your needs prior to your stay, is actively engaging during your stay with the team on the ground and sends a note post-departure to check in how your stay went.
It extends to a Palesa who reaches out to the guest in advance of their arrival, tells them about the weather, what to pack, finds out more about them, finds out what more of their aspirations are on coming to stay with us. And then all of that information which Palesa gathers, she then briefs into the operational team. So already when the guest arrives, the service team are already familiar with what the guest's expectations are from their time in the residence. Talk to me a little bit about the emphasis we place on the guides. You know, our guests spend anything between 6 to 8 hours per day with the guide and tracker team going out into the reserve in the morning or in the afternoon.
So guides are highly trained. They've got their FIGASA qualification, which is the Field Guide Association of South Africa. So they're very respectful of the reserve and ensure a very high-end guest experience. It's about highly qualified guides taking you out on a very emotional experience, but they've got a very calm presence. They understand the bush, and they also host you. They give you that sense of security as you're on this experience.
Alan, thank you for spending these moments with me to talk about the guest experience that you've been crafting and creating. I wish you tremendous luck in bringing her to life on the 22nd of September.
Thank you. I look forward to taking this role forward and creating a magical guest experience for our guests.
Pleasure. Thank you.